Hello, beautiful people behind all your gadgets, maybe smartphones or cell phones or something like that. We are sending from Salzburg, which is kind of heart of Austria. And outside it's snowing and inside it's quite a little bit cold. And I'm tired because I'm retired since years, but Peter was so kind to call me back from the pension and says I have to be again what I have been for years, so-called beer sip. And but I am not the star. The star is here. Eight, do you see that? Wow, this was hard to get out. This is so-called Wiener Lager. And I'm from Vienna, and this is my theme. But first of all, I'm gonna get the guests. Na, was ist mit euch?
Kommen wir mal halt. It's cold outside. Yeah.
Two ladies, please sit down.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Is there beer for us? No?
Very comfortable here.
Yes. But before we continue, I have somebody in the sky, in the clouds. Claudio.
Hello, Claudio.
Hi, Claudia.
Do you?
Fine, thank you.
We're fine. How's up there in the sky?
It's good. It's white.
It's white?
It's white.
But it's white here too.
Yeah.
Is it cold in the sky?
No. Yeah, looking forward to a great evening together.
Yes.
So we have to try the beer.
Yeah,
No?
let's have a look what we have here.
It's a Wiener Lager. Except you told it. I think.
I think so.
It's a Wiener Lager coming from Germany, a German brewery.
Is Wien in Germany?
No.
No, Vienna is not in Germany.
You're right. The beer style is Vienna Lager. It's a beer style coming from Austria, but the beer is brewed in Germany, I think.
How do the Germans dare to brew Vienna Lager?
So it comes from the deep south of Germany, from Bavaria.
Okay.
And
Thanks a lot.
for you, would you like a full glass, or should we
No,
share?
it's okay.
Just share this one.
But before we continue to talk about the Wiener Lager, let's have a word to these two beautiful ladies. Can you introduce yourself, please?
Hi, my name is Isabella,
Hi,
and
Isabella.
I'm usually working for Steamworks.
It's also a Wiener Lager brewery in Vienna, no?
It's a Canadian brewery in Vancouver.
Canadian
Yeah, in North
brewery.
America, in Vancouver.
Okay.
But we recently brought out a Vienna Lager by ourselves. And so, yeah, I'm honored to...
So this beer is kind of a Botschafter of Wien, of Austria.
Yeah, I think
ambassador,
the maybe a little bit unknown style Vienna Lager is getting a comeback. And I'm here as guest to introduce it now, and let's see.
So you're Isabella, but who's that beautiful lady on the corner of the sofa?
Hello, my name is Birgit. I'm coming from Vienna too, like Sepp.
Okay.
I'm coming from Vienna, and
An old Viennese, no?
no,
Young
no, no,
Viennese, of
no,
course.
no. I'm born in southern Germany, but now I live in
It's all
Vienna.
mixed up and shook up and mumbled up. And so like beer.
Yes,
Okay.
that's it. And now let's have a look to the Vienna Lager.
Yeah, I think the people are thirsty now. And
What is this color typical for a Wiener Lager?
No, it's not really typical. A real Vienna Lager has to be copper.
Copper, yes.
so I
So
think
it's a
that's the
light
Bavarian
Vienna Lager.
interpretation,
Yes,
I think.
so.
A little paler lager, and it seems very clear.
Yes.
So it's filtered.
Nice foam.
Very nice white foam.
The aroma is nice.
What do you smell?
It's beer, no?
It's
A very typical beer smell. Flavors.
a little bit hop in the nose.
What kind of hop?
Grassy.
Oh, the traditional kinds of hop styles, no?
German noble hops, I think. That's typical for Vienna Lager.
Yeah,
You have to take noble hops,
Noble
classic
hops.
German or Czech
Okay.
hops for this style, I think. Isn't
So
it?
it's a Fürsten, the
Yeah.
Fürsten hop and the Grafen hop and the Baron hop and so on.
I have to
Yeah, and I asked them where they get their hops for this beer, and all hops are from the Hallertau, so from
The former largest
former
hop
largest
crowd.
hop.
But now it's in China, no? The largest hop crowd.
Isn't it Yakima Valley, or is it in China now?
The people from Yakima Valley tell us that there's the largest hop crowd. But I believe China is coming up, no? But
Not in the moment.
Not in the moment.
The hops from Hallertau.
so we should not talk about
No.
Chinese Vienna Lager.
We should talk about
let
the
us talk-
beer.
Because if the Wiener Lager in China would be brewed in China, it would be vice versa, like Hallstatt. No, so let's come back to this kind of beer. It looks like a lager, a filtered lager. How is it possible to say Wiener Lager? What is the role of the Austrian city Vienna to the lager?
We can have a look into a video.
Birgit, you should talk into the microphone.
We
We have a video of another guy who just opened in the morning to show.
Okay, so I'm told that we should not talk shit longer, so it's better to have a video from our friend
Papery heathers. That's
Peter. No,
and a 5.1 alcohol content. Pretty neat. Pretty good. Oh, yes. Holy foam. Ugh. Oh, God. Bro, I didn't even shake it that much. All right, I'm just going to go for it. Wiener Lager.
stop talking about all these things about Peter because the microphones are open now. So let's talk about the beer style.
Yeah, so Wiener Lager, Vienna Lager was first brewed in Vienna, as the name says, in 1841, I guess. And
In the famous Viennese district Schwechat, no?
Schwechat, yeah. And
This is a kind of lower Austria, no? Schwechat. Schwechat is not a. Sorry, I'm absolutely sorry to
you are from Vienna, so these
yes.
details count for you. Okay.
This is important because the people from Heineken always say Wiener Lager is a kind of history of Heineken, but we have to talk about this. But you're absolutely right. What we have seen in the middle of the 19th century, it was in the area of Vienna and
it was a completely new style type of beer in these times. So in Austria and in Germany and in southern Germany, Bavaria, usually people drank dark beers and top fermented beers at these times, and I think beers with higher volume of alcohol. And pale beers like this one and bottom fermented beers weren't as known at these times. And Anton Dreher, the owner of the Kleinschwächerter brewery near Vienna, very close to Vienna, he visited England and Scotland with his friend Sedelmeier.
Okay.
And in England and Scotland, they knew at the time how to proceed with malts to get paler malts. The pale ale malt, for example, is a very pale malt without all the smoky and dark aromas and flavors of the malts, which have been usually used in Germany and Austria. And they brought this knowledge back to Austria. And they also gained a lot of knowledge about the bottom fermented yeast and the procedure of bottom fermentation, and created a completely new beer, a lager, which is, at this time it was an amber color. So not this nice golden color, which we say it's a pale, bright beer now. No, it was an amber colored beer. But
because the malt was so important, no?
Yeah, and people liked it very much. Not only that it was amber and not dark like black beers.
Okay.
And he was very, very successful with his first Vienna Lager. Unfortunately, very soon after this, Czech people brought out the Pilsner, and the Pilsner was even brighter, even paler, and people on the continent forgot about the Wiener Lager.
So this was an Austrian competition, because Pilsen was Austrian at that time, and so we had kind of a little northern Austria to east of Austria. But the Dreher brewery in Kleinschwächert near Vienna has been the largest brewery in the world at that time, no?
They've been very, very successful, yes.
And the family Dreher also had...
I think there's maybe a question out of the cloud.
The sky is calling.
The sky is ringing, indeed. Before I get to my question, I just want to remind people too, the BeerTasting app. Download it, review the beer that we're talking about each day. And every day during the Advent calendar, some lucky reviewer will be sent 6 of these glasses. The question is, we hear that this beer, this Vienna Lager, is very popular in the US, maybe even more popular than it is right here. Is that true, and why is that so?
The Wiener Lager has been popular in the US and, for instance, too in Mexico for years, and up to the year of 2014, I think, there was Ottakringer Brewery, which is the largest brewery in Vienna. They brought out Wiener Original, but before it was not possible to get a Wiener Lager in Vienna. And I know this very well, because I wrote the Österreichische Bierbuch in the year of 2009. It was on the market, and I wrote the sentence in this book that it's possible to buy a Wiener Lager from American breweries, but not in Vienna. And 2 or 3 years later, the Ottakringer people told me they have read this advice, and they say it's absolutely time to go back to a Wiener Lager from Vienna. And this was first 2014, Ottakringer, they brought out Wiener Original. And some years later, the Schwächert Brewery came also with another Wiener Lager, the Schwächerter Wiener How is it called? The type of Schwächerte Wiener Lager, no?
Yeah,
Yes.
I think so. Yeah.
But this is 2 years after the Otterkringer, and unfortunately, this is not in the history of the Schwächerte brewery. It's not mentioned in the history of the Schwächerte brewery. So I hope all the rest of the information in these books are a little bit better facts and not alternative facts like that. Oh, shall we? So the other department of the Sky tells me we have another video. Please.
A quick look at the history of this style. This beer style started life in 1841 and was quite a revolution at the time, as it combined kilned malt with lager yeast, which was something very new back then. The history behind this is actually quite amusing though, as the brewer responsible actually discovered a new type of kilning process during visits to breweries in England that made this style what it is now. Rumour has it that the inventor of this style, one Anton Dreher, went as far as stealing samples of malt and yeast for later analysis, which led to his so-called discovery of Vienna malt. This is clearly the prominent factor behind this style. This Austrian brewer then went to live in Hungary, where he became the 5th richest person in that country. Let us now look at the BJCP guidelines for this style, simplifying them a little as we go. The BJCP categorized this style under European Amber Lager, saying that aroma-wise you should expect a moderately rich malt aroma from either or both Vienna or Munich malt. They say this could also include a light toasted presence, but that this should be less intense than an Oktoberfest style. Furthermore, the character from yeast should be clean and lager-like with no fruity esters. Also, that hop aroma should be low to none, as should the caramel side of things. In regards to appearance, they want light red amber to copper, bright clarity, and a large off-white persistent head. The flavour should have soft and elegant complex malts to start, with a balanced bitterness finish. Some toasted flavour, no roast, or caramel flavour with a fairly dry finish. They also expect both malt and hop bitterness in the aftertaste, low to no hop flavour. In terms of mouthfeel, they expect a medium light to medium body with a gentle creaminess with moderate carbonation. The beer should be smooth and moderately crisp on the finish, with perhaps a little bit of alcohol warming. This has an overall impression of being a beer with soft, elegant maltiness that dries out on the finish to avoid being too sweet. At the bottom here, I provided the vitals.
Yeah, I hope you know a little bit more about the Wiener Lager now. I saw a question on the screen. If nowadays only Vienna malts are used to the beer, can you tell us more about
I think this is a question for Birgit.
It depends of the brewmaster's
Decision.
Yes. The largest part would be Vienna malt, sure.
Should be, but
Should.
yeah.
But yeah, I also talked to the guys from Egerer, and I know that they also used Munich and Pilsner malt, and I guess that's maybe also the reason why this one is paler than usually, so it not has this amber color, because Pilsner and Munich malts are paler malts than the Vienna malt.
When I look at this beer, I believe it's 70-80% Pilsner malt.
Yeah, so I think nowadays it definitely depends on the recipe of the brewer.
You can read the question, I can't, because I'm old, and in Austria we would say Schaßauge. Nobody understands in the US.
So, Claudio in the sky.
Oh.
Are there some questions?
Well, this is a question for me. But I do want to shout out some of the regular. I see a few names who've been here since the beginning of Advent. Rob, Christopher, Glenn, Kevin. We have a new viewer, Mimi from Montana.
Hey.
But I have a question. This is for me. you just mentioned the Vienna malt versus the Munich malt. What is that from where they're actually grown, or is there a different style of grain?
No, this is not a different style of grains. It just depends on how on the temperature in the process of maltation. Vienna and Munich malts are a little bit darker than Pilsner malt, and but not dark malts. They are between light and dark malts, and so we have a little bit more temperature on the Darre. Do you know about the temperature? No.
19.
I think we have 80 degrees like for Pilsner malt,
Yes.
and 90 or something like yes,
95.
95 for yes, something like this, 90 to 100 degrees Celsius in the Darre for the Munich and Vienna malts. But this is all this is the same type of grain as for the Pilsner malt.
So yeah, they are all barley malts.
Is there another question, or can we read?
Yeah, like I don't know if we have a question now, but I guess you told the story that people also wondered that the Vienna Lager is a bit more known or more common in the US or in Mexico, like in Germany or even in Austria. Mm-hmm. And like my relatives, like my ancestors who immigrated to the to Canada. Mm-hmm. And this is why my relatives opened Steamworks. Mm-hmm. And now we bring the Steamworks beer to Europe. So it's a small family business. Many people in the middle of the 19th century emigrated to the US and to Mexico, mm-hmm. and opened their own brewery and brought the recipes of the Vienna Lager with them. And in the 70s, as home brewing, craft brewing scene and the microbreweries grown and opened a lot in the US, the Vienna Lager had a comeback at these times. And as you said, now as Schwechatter and Ottakringer Brewery in Vienna saw that, even the US people brew Vienna Lager again, maybe they should do it again, and they did.
I think the Wiener Original was the most successful new product of Ottakringer in the last years.
Oh,
yes,
really?
Yes, and the Wiener Original is on tap of many restaurants in Vienna now. I believe Wiener Original is the best beer for the schnitzel.
Mm-hmm. Vienna Lager, the beer style Vienna Lager.
Beer, especially yes. The Wiener Original.
Yes,
I think so.
That's it.
Okay. Oh.
I have a question, and I've got some quick update on the BeerTasting app. I get really great service up here in heaven. This beer is getting a lot of good reviews, just to let you know. At Nathan, I gave it 5 stars. At Prime, one of the lightest color and body I've experienced, 4 stars. L. Andrews, very light tasting, crisp but refreshing, not overwhelming flavor, but very easy to drink.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's true.
I think that's 3 3/4 stars. So he's not quite there yet, but he's close. Tim Bratton, 123. The best of the Advent calendar so far.
Oh.
Bold claim. It's only early days, Tim.
Good to hear.
Maybe it's, thanks a lot, it's wonderful, but maybe it's interesting to tell the difference between Helles and Wiener Lager. What do you think is, how can we explain in a few words the difference between Helles, Bavarian style or Austrian style, and Wiener Lager?
Should I? Will you?
Isabel.
Yeah, you look at me. Okay, so I think obviously the color. So usually a Vienna Lager is has an amber color, so it's darker than a Helles, which has quite this color usually, but a little bit paler maybe. And for Vienna Lager, the hops aren't as important or in the nose and in the flavor as at a Helles. So, in my opinion, a Helles has a more how can I say, a little bit of spicy green hop notes, hop flavors, which shines through the pale beer, and the Wiener Lager has more bready notes, malty notes. So even the beer is brewed with noble hops. The hops flavors aren't as important as in the beer style like the Helles. And it's more these toffee notes, a very dry body. Yeah, these are the main differences, I guess.
Maybe we can say that the Helles or styles like Helles are really balanced between hop and malt. And the Wiener Lager is more on the side of the malt. Oh, can we say this? Okay.
I agree. Yeah, definitely.
Thanks a lot. So, what is more to do? What is more to say to this beer, to the Wiener Lager?
Are there more questions out there in the sky?
One last question. Seeing as we have three experts on the couch, do you see this beer making a comeback, or what other sort of lagers are you seeing coming back and starting to re-emerge?
Ladies.
Yeah, I think it depends on who you ask. So in the usual beer drinker maybe doesn't know that there is a Wiener Lager, except you are from Vienna or are from Bavaria or from south of Germany. So maybe the Vienna Lager needs more publicity, more advertising in the world or in Europe to getting more popular. But in the craft beer scene, for example, they're popping out a lot of modern style Helles. It's like dry hopped Helles, which with different aroma hops, flavor hops, which brings completely new aromas and flavors into a Helles. So, and the Helles is the number one beer style of southern Germany and Austria, maybe. So I think depends who you ask. Yeah.
Nevertheless, I think Vienna Lager is an important beer style because it's very, very great for beer and food pairings. And I don't want to miss this beer style. I don't want to miss it.
I think there's a kind of renaissance of all these lager beers in the moment since some month. And this is not here to get away in a few weeks. This is here to stay, I think. And Wiener Lager is a really important part of this new wave of lager and helle beer. So a beer like this, which is very easy to drink, but on the other side, it has a body and interesting flavors. This is good in the moment and will be good in the future.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers. Cheers out there.
Cheers.
Cheers.
And cheers, Claudia.
Okay.
I hear some instruments.
Instruments.
This is not silent.
Who will sing?
Peter is going
Yeah,
to sing.
you will sing?
Yes, of course.
I don't.
No, but
I don't know the text. So,
Night, holy night.